Oh, we're the Raging Grannies and we are hopping mad. Our president came to office by just a hanging chad. With our Constitution.
This is one of dozens of songs the Raging Grannies have recorded as part of their protest anthem. This all-female activist group began in Vancouver in the late 80s. The Rochester Gaggle was formed in 2002 by Raging Granny Vicki Ryder. Speaking to us from her home in North Carolina, Ryder says she was inspired by her anger over the Bush administration.
In 2002, I was working with a friend on a quilting project, and she came over wearing a T-shirt saying, "I'm a Raging Granny." And it just struck a chord with me because I was a grandmother, and at the time I was raging. George W. Bush was elected president, and things were going from bad to worse.
With the outrage of the Iraq War and local budget cuts to vital resources, Ryder knew something had to be done. In an effort to find this seemingly random T-shirt, Ryder made a surprising discovery.
I had no idea that there was a group called the Raging Grannies. I just went online to see where I could get a shirt. And much to my surprise, there were gaggles of grannies all throughout Canada and the U.S. that I had never heard of.
As far as requirements go, a Raging Granny must have a sense of outrage, a sense of humor, and a commitment to nonviolence.
And that's pretty much it. We don't have an age restriction because we found that there are many women who become grandmothers at a fairly young age. Mm-hmm. If you're 17 when you have a baby and your daughter has a baby at 17, you can still be in your 30s and be a grandmother.
Their goal is not to be escorted out of any area in handcuffs. Instead, their primary purpose is to get their message across to the audience peacefully.
Sometimes we get gavelled down. Sometimes we're escorted out. It's rare to be arrested unless we're committing civil disobedience. Making a nuisance of ourselves is not the same as committing civil disobedience. And we never set out to be arrested. What we set out to do is to exercise our constitutional right.
There are currently 100 gaggles of grannies throughout the U.S. and Canada. The first gaggle formed in the winter of 1987 in British Columbia. Ever since, the Raging Grannies have raged about issues of social and economic justice, peace, and the protection of the earth.
And I think that we're making an important contribution in that way because the mainstream media doesn't always get out the information that needs to be heard in a way that people can understand.
The motto of the Rochester Gaggle was created by Vicki Ryder, and it is simple: stay in trouble.
Well, I'm afraid I take the blame for it.
Even though Ryder moved away from Rochester more than 6 years ago, her legacy still rages on. There are currently 30 women who make up the Rochester Gaggle. Together, they continue to write political anthems and rage about issues they deem prominent in today's society.
Well, we don't wait to be invited. We feel that our message is really important and needs to be shared, and so we'll get out and share it. Often it could be at a rally.
Stay tuned for the personal stories of other Raging Grannies of the Rochester chapter.
What to think and say because they have the might. But we are growing bolder, as you can plainly see. It's time we all stand up and shout, don't misunderestimate me. Don't misunderestimate me, my boy, bring our troops home from Iraq. We're gonna elect somebody new and take our country back.